Hello everyone, and welcome to the next installment on how to make French disco house. My name's Andy Van from Super Disco Club and Madison Avenue. You may remember a track I made back in 1999 called Don't Call Me Baby. Okay, here's a snippet of what we'll be making today. I've been a huge disco house fan since the mid-90s and have purchased hundreds and hundreds of disco house releases, and a label that really influenced my production style was Cry to More, founded by Guy Manuel, one half of Daft Punk, and Eric Chedeville in 1997. The label featured artists like La Nightclub, Rawman, Buffalo Bunch and more, and the label released 19 tracks and unfortunately shut in 2003. So one of my favourite Cry to More releases was Hysteria by La Nightclub, which also consisted of Guy Manuel and Eric Chedeville. So in this video, I'm recreating a French disco house jam inspired by Hysteria. By the way, there's a great SoundCloud channel that has all the Roulé and Cry to More releases. Definitely check it out. I've linked it below. Okay, let's get into it. So here's the disco sample I'm using. Let's find some good sections to use in our track. Yep, let's use this one, labelled M1. Okay, next sample. Yeah, this little snippet here is great, labelled M2. Okay, now third sample. Yep, I really like this. It's got some creative rhythm. Let's use this, labelled M3. Okay, next I want to find a few short vocal snippets from these green samples here. Yep, these two are good. Let's label these V1 and V3. And let's listen for one more vocal snippet. Yep, that's the one. Let's trim that and label it V3. If you're liking what you're seeing, please remember to like and subscribe and hit that bell button. That'll really help this channel. Okay, next, let's start arranging the samples. Let's grab M1 and repeat it 4 times. Okay, one of the most important things to get that French disco house feel is sidechaining. Here I'm using the excellent Kickstart 2 in a Super Disco Ableton rack. If you want to know more about sidechaining, check out one of our past French disco house videos. I'll leave a link below. Okay, let's continue arranging. Let's repeat this 2-bar section, but change the end with a 4 times repeat at the end. Okay, let's continue arranging. Remember those other disco samples, M2 and M3. Let's drag those into our arrangement. Yep, that's really sounding good. Next, let's copy another 4-bar section, and this time in the last bar, we'll create a different end trick with 6 repeats of M1 and 2 M3s. Yep, that's sounding great. Next step, we're going to do some bass layering. This is where you layer the same disco samples onto a new channel, but this channel has all the mids and tops EQ'd out, and then sidechain, and then I have an excellent free plugin called Love End to boost the bass. And then a low and high cut filter at the end here to ensure no mids sneak through. Okay, so let's copy this section of the disco samples to the bass channel. Then color them red, as that's the color I always use for bass elements. Then let's jump back to the disco samples in blue color and EQ out some of the low end. Okay, let's give a quick listen to just the bass channel. Excellent. Let's listen to the upper disco sample channel soloed, and then I'll turn the bass channel on so you can hear both. Yep, that's sounding great. Next, let's get onto drums. Ableton has an excellent 909 kit built in, so let's use that kick. Here I've dragged my 909 channel with 16 bars of 909 kick already programmed in. Let's give that a listen. Next, I've got a very cool chunky loop I want to add to this. Now with the rest of the track. Next, I'm going to drag in my SDC hats collection rack. This contains all my favorite hats, and I'm going to choose a good French-styled 909 open hat. Next, I'm choosing a really dirty, crunchy hat loop. I want to add this in to give the track some variation. That's awesome. Let's also add in this reverse crash. Next, we need to go over my absolute favourite element of French disco house, and that is filtering. A lot of French disco house artists in the 90s used filter boxes to filter their disco samples. I've made a killer rack to do some amazing filter effects. It's called SDC Filter Box Daft Edition and has a large amount of crazy filtering effects. It's the most sought after rack in our Patreon. Let's drag that in and check out what it can do to our disco samples. Here's the disco sample with no effect. And now let's go through some of the presets in the filter box. That is so good. I'm sure you've worked out I absolutely love French filtering effects. So on this channel, I have Kickstart 2. I also have some reverb and a low and high cut filter. So next, I'll automate the high cut filter and also add some reverb before the drop. And also I'll add back in some bass for the 4 bars before the drop. Okay, let's quickly listen to the intro section we've just created. Yep, that's awesome. Next, let's arrange a middle breakdown section. We'll copy this 8-bar section and then automate the filter to cut off the top end for 8 bars, so it's got a moody, tense feel. And I'm just using the kick and the hats in this breakdown section. Let's give it a listen. Okay, let's add in those vocal snippets we chopped at the start of this video. Then finally, let's add another 8 bars after the breakdown. That's it, we're done. Let's give the whole track a listen. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to help any producers wanting to get that French disco sound. If you want this Ableton project and all the SDC racks in it, consider jumping over to our Patreon. The link is below. By the way, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about disco house and house music production and want to support us so we can make more videos like this, then please consider joining our Patreon and becoming part of that community.